A quick clarification before starting this video. This reaction was supposed to be released last week. That video from last week about BTS's flaws was not supposed to happen, but I felt obligated to make it as a singer. For 20 years who understands the struggles singers go through. I've even been on tour, so I know a bit of what they go through, and I hope you learn, or at least a small minority of you actually learn to appreciate the different qualities of each of your idols, and also respect any limitation or difficulty they might have. Alright, now enjoy the video. Welcome to the Puma Bass channel. Today we're going to react to JIN from the group BTS. He will be performing the song, Epiphany, which talks about self-love. It tells the story of a person who, after a long time, facing difficulties and some disappointments, realized that they need to prioritize themselves and love who they are, above other people and other things. Let's see how JIN delivers the interpretation of this song, which is a more reflective piece.
분명 난 너를 너무 사랑했는데 모두 너에게 맞추고 널 위해 살고 싶었는데 그럴수록 내 맘속에 폭풍을 감당할 수 없게 돼 웃고 있는 가면 속에 진짜 내 모습을 다 드러내.
Okay, compared to the other members of the group, we see a baritone or maybe a tenor. I can't say exactly his vocal range, but his voice is not as high as Jungkook's or Hyunmin's, but also not as low as V's, and definitely not as deep as the other member whose name I forgot, the rapper whom I've already reacted to. Suga, I just remembered his name. JIN is in this lamenting mood, singing in a lower range. I'm not noticing a whisper voice, which is something that singers from Asia often use. However, the sound setup here isn't helping to detect it clearly, but apparently there's none, also because he's a bit far from the microphone. If he were using whisper voice, he would be closer. And although this is a not so low range, perhaps he really is a baritone, especially considering he's singing farther away. If he were in a lower register, he would be closer, or so it seems. His voice has a timbre that is neither very bright nor very metallic, despite being higher. It has a different characteristic from Jungkook and Hyunmin. His voice is actually closer to V's timbre. The transition he made to falsetto here was spectacular, absolutely delicate, seamless in transition, switching back and forth to head voice with great smoothness and ease. Very good. He has a playback running in parallel, so it's not a playback that supports his voice, but rather just a backing vocal alongside. Even when he switches to falsetto, this helps him sing falsetto with more confidence, but he wouldn't even need it. He made all the transitions perfectly.
이렇게 소중하다고 숨겨두고 싶었는지 뭐가 그리 두려워 내 진짜 모습을 숨겼는지 I wanna show love in this world 빛나는
He attacks every note with aggression.
내 영혼을 이제 깨달아
This aggressive attack fits the song's theme very well, even in falsetto, especially now that he is standing. Because the song is really about lamentation, pain, over a past in which he did not prioritize himself.
하지만 이대로의 내가 된다는 걸 지금껏 살아온 내 달과 달리 심장 영혼을
His voice is indeed closer to V's, with that rounder, fuller projection. I wouldn't call it a classical singing projection, like some singers I've reacted to. But it is very similar to what V does. And he probably has a very full voice if you hear him, without a microphone, with volume. And really, all the members of the group deliver strong live performances, even on stage, performing well on their own, without needing a playback covering their voices. I even thought Suga used one, but he didn't, as we saw in the video. And they deliver their performances very well and confidently. They managed to correct something that Hybe unfortunately didn't provide them. Proper vocal training. He reaches a very high head voice note. Even for him, it's quite high. He adds just the right amount of aggressiveness. He could even add some drive here, at the beginning of the note. Maybe he hasn't mastered it, but it's a bit risky to do, so it's good that he doesn't even try. But he could add it if he wanted to. But I like this high note that he reached. Before, he did it in falsetto, but now he used head voice, and did just as well. He also has a distinctive timbre, and a resonance typical of East Asian singers, but without such a strong nasal quality. It conveys a lot of pain. Very good interpretation. Here, he uses mixed voice. He opens up a belting sound, not sure if intentional or not. It adds a bit more brightness to his voice, but I can't tell if this metallic quality, this brightness in the sound, comes from that or from the playback that's playing alongside him, so I can't say for sure if he actually went for belting, or if he just used mixed voice. without fully opening up for volume and projection. Very good, a great performance. A vocal interpretation that fits the song very well, both vocally and melodically. It aligns perfectly with the lyrics, especially the way the melody is interpreted with the piano. Truly impeccable. He delivered a great performance. I don't know how it sounds live on stage. Here, we're listening to the audio from the video. So there's already some sound processing, especially from the playback, which is quite noticeable. But I think if we listen to a fan's phone recording, his voice would be more prominent. Here, the sound has been adjusted, but nothing that was altered to overpower the playback or anything like that. But he did really well, and I liked his timbre. Though, among them all, I still prefer V's timbre. For high notes, I prefer Jungkook. For baritones and lower tones, I prefer V. But each of them has different and very interesting qualities. I'm really enjoying this and having fun analyzing these guys. So if you like this video and this reaction, leave a like and a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. Consider supporting financially with any amount, using the super thanks button or the PayPal link in the pinned comment. And if you want to watch this reaction with the original audio and video, check out my Patreon, also linked in the description. Alright, see you next time.